Hello. Good evening, Kamalnath. So, welcome to yet another episode of Ask Me Anything. So, today, normally what happens is these sessions happen every Tuesday at 9 p.m. We miss once in a while. I'm sorry about it, but by and large, happens on every Tuesday at 9 p.m. I talk about a topic for 5 to 10 minutes, and then it's open for questions. People can ask questions, and I try to answer those. Okay, so let's start. So today, uh, we are talking about one another topic, vamana. Okay, that's making the person vomit as far as Panchakarma goes. And now, there you go. When you talk about vamana, that's a part of treatment, okay, where you do the purification. Okay, so chikitsa is basically divided into two. One is shamana and one is shodhana. Shamana is pacifying and shodhana is cleansing. So these are the two ways in which you can handle a condition, that you either pacify the issues or you try to clean it out, get the doshas out. Okay, now there is a third one, is a paschat karma. That is how do you do the shodhana here? When you do the shodhana, you have to first prepare the person. That is called the purva karma, and then you do the sneha sweda. That is, you prepare the person. Snehana is oiling the person, okay, and swedana is basically doing what you call applying heat, that we call that sudation, so that all the doshas melt and then come to the koshta. So sneha sweta is done, and after that the pradhana karma is you eliminating them. Elimination can be done in 5 ways: vamana, virechana, nasya, vasti, and rakta moksha. Okay, so we are done with nasya and virechana. Today we are in vamana. Okay, so you have done the pura karma, then you do the pradhana karma. That's the panchakarma, doing the vamana, and after that paschat karma is, post vamana, how do you get their health back? Okay, so now vamanam, what do you mean by vamanam? Administration of medicine orally to induce vomiting. Okay, so this is after the person has been prepared. Okay, and then what? It is basically good for all the doshas, but specifically more effective for increased kapha dosha. Okay, kapha. So vamana is for kapha, and this is not an easy procedure to do because, if you look at vasti or virechana, it is basically anuloma, because you take food, it goes down, right? So you try to remove the doshas also through the lower path, that is anuloma. But when you want to bring it out from the upper path, it is against the movement of the food, right? Or the vayu. So we call that pratiloma. So this is pratiloma. So it is not very easy to do, both for the patient and also for the person who is doing it. This is not an easy thing. Okay, now classification. Okay, vamana has been classified into a few methods. It's how you apply it. Sadhya means just like that. That means without any preparation. Those things are done in emergency. Suppose you have consumed something which is corrosive or which is not good for the health. Might be poison. Somebody swallows a poison or something. You can't do all the preparation. No, you have to just get it out of the system. Okay, so that those are mostly done in emergencies, or you have got little of doshas, you make the doshas throw out. So in emergencies, preparation is not needed in that condition. Okay, then in ritu, in certain ritus, especially in vasanta ritu, automatically there is an increase in kapha. So when that kapha is increased, you make the person vomit. Here also you don't have to give too much of importance for preparation, very mild preparation. Now shodhana, that is the proper panchakarma. Here you have to prepare the person and he has to undergo the proper vamana. This is not easy. Okay, now you can start asking your questions. Okay, so the dravya used, dravya. Okay, dravya is, you can't just make a person vomit empty. Okay, if you fill the person with some liquid, like when you see children, how do they vomit? they drink a lot of milk and then they vomit, right? So likewise, if you before you vomit a person, it's always good for you to see that he consumes a lot of what do you call liquids, and those liquids are milk, normally milk, sugar cane, or jaggery mixed water. These are very easily available. Ashtanga Hridayam mostly goes for milk. Akantham payet kshiram. Drink milk till the akantham means till you fill your throat. Okay, and then you make the person vomit by giving medicines. Okay, so this is the way we do it. And how do we do it? So after you, generally what do we do? Okay, post vamana, you making the person vomit, you have to see that he sits in a comfortable place, after doing the sneha sweda, is in a comfortable place, and you give him medicines and he vomits. Okay, so after he vomits, what do? You make the person rest, and then dhupana is very important. Dhumapana, that means smoke is very important, because when you vomit, you are removing the kapha out of the system. There is a tendency for little bit of kapha to remain over there, because that shishta kapha. Okay, for that kapha, it cannot come out. Okay, so when you give that smoke, you will be able to dry that kapha out. This whole area becomes clean. The smoking is done both in vamana and in nasya, because nasya is also done in the kapha area. If you remember right, above the chest, it is above the heart, it is a kapha area. So when you do nasya also, after nasya is done, you have to do that giving smoke. Okay, so you can start asking your questions. Okay, there we go. Good evening, good evening. Let us take this question. Let me see if I can change this dial in which. Yeah. Okay. For Pittavrta Vata, Acharya Charaka suggests intake of milk boiled with bala and panchamola. Which panchamola did he imply? Okay, is it Lagu? No, it is, when you say only panchamola, normally it is Brihat panchamola, or he has to say Hraswa panchamola. When you say only panchamola, because there are different kinds of panchamola. Okay, you have Brihat panchamola, you have Lagu panchamola, you have Trina panchamola, you have Valli panchamola. Okay, different kinds of panchamulas are there. So when Acharya mentions only panchamula, then it is Brihat panchamula. Okay, Kamalnath. Also, Acharya Charaka recommends Jivaniya Gana for the same, which Grita available in the market can be used for Pitta Vrta Vata. Yes, Jivaniya Gana is not available in the market. So normally when it is, Pitta and Vata, you can use Vidaryadi Gridam. Okay. The shloka goes like this: Vidari Panchangula Vischikali. It comes in Ashtanga Hridayam. Okay. When you come to the Phalashruti, okay, Vidaryadi Rayam Hridyo Brahmanam Vata Pittaha. It is the one which manages both Vata and Pitta at the same time. Instead of Jivane Gana, you can definitely go for Vidaryadi Ganam Kashayam. Okay, Kamalnath. Yes, Ramesh Maharaj. Good evening. So I don't see too many questions here. Okay. So one thing which I would want to tell you about, I'll come to your question. Okay. So I just want to bring one thing into when you're doing Vamana, especially when I do get people who want to undergo Vamana. To be on the safer side, I actually see how healthy their heart is. Because heart health is very important when you make the person vomit. Okay, because we have had conditions where people felt a little bit dizzy, and we understood that the heart was not proper. So it's always to be on the safer side. We ask them to take an ECG. Okay, and everything is fine. Only we make the person go through Vamana. Okay, now Ramesh Maharaj. While bathing, water enters my ears and reduces my hearing capacity. Okay. So what you can do is, I don't think, Ramesh, you are taking bath in a pond or in a river where you are going inside water. Okay. Then also we have got an idea. But otherwise, what you can definitely do is before you take a shower, you can put two cotton pieces in your ear and take a shower and prevent water from getting into your ears. Okay, prevention is always better. Or if you are somebody who takes bath in a pond and you go down under the water every time, our elders have told us before you take a dip in the water, you take your handful of water, okay, and put it in and pour the whole water inside your mouth and hold it. That means you should have your mouth full. Not in one drop of water can enter. That much full it should be. So when it is so full, it creates a pressure in your mouth. So when that pressure is there, every tube which is connected here and there is under pressure. Water will not enter from outside because you have given pressure from inside. Okay, so there's no water that will come from outside. So we do that regularly when we take when we bathe in a pond or in a river. And once we come out, we don't spit it out immediately. We actually towel our head really well, and once it is completely dry, then only we spit the water out. You can do that also. Okay. Aditya, what is the duration required to complete Vamana treatment from beginning to end? It it depends from person to person, but I can give you a rough estimate. Preparing the person first for the we said Sneha Sweda. Sneha Sweda is basically giving that person ghee in decent quantities, right? So for him, if he has to digest that ghee itself, he has to have strength in his agni. For that itself can take time. So I would say a minimum of 2 weeks have to be dedicated before you can start the Sneha Sweda. So Sneha Sweda is 7 days or max 8 days. 7 days of Snehana and then 1 day of Swedana, and then you can do the Vamana. So 14 is preparing for Sneha Sweda. 14 plus 8, 22 plus Vamana is 23. Okay. And then after you have done the Vamana, it's very important for about the next 7 to 10 days until he gets his health back. So altogether might be a month, little bit more than a month would you have to put aside if you want to do Vamana properly. But the first 14 days, which I said you can take medicines, you can stay at home and take medicines. Other thing, while doing Vamana, it's always good for you to get admitted into a good hospital so that you are under supervision when you take that ghee in large quantities. Okay. So if you take that 14 days aside, okay, you need close to about in hospital you need about 8 to 10 days. That's it. After that you can go home, and post thing can happen at home, and the pre also can happen at home. So about 10 days. Okay, Aditya, please suggest me a solution. Yeah, so I have already told you the solution. If you are taking bath in a bathroom, under the shower you can put a cotton piece. Prevent water from going inside, Maharaj. Okay. If you're taking a shower or you're taking a bathe in a pond, I told you, fill your mouth with water. Okay. Do you know Liv Doctor? He is a very good person. Takes a lot of good things. Talks a lot of good things about you. I don't know Liv Doctor personally. Okay, I have only seen his videos here and there. Okay. That's all. If he's spoken a few good things about me, then good. But otherwise, I don't know him personally. Thank you. Vamana. So once you do the Vamana, what happens is, sometimes, see, this for Vamana, there is a specific herb that is being used that is called Madana Phala. Okay, I can type it. It is for people who are interested. Okay, it is a fruit, Madana Phala. From the inside, we take the paste out of it and mix it in milk and give. Any person will definitely vomit if the person consumes Madana Phala. Okay, so Madana Phala is the main Vamana Dravya. And you cannot give Madana Phala beyond a certain limit because it causes a lot of gastric irritation. So what happens is we have come across a lot of cases where you give Madana Phala for the person to vomit, and you see that he he does not vomit really well, okay, then what we do is then we use Vamano Upagadravya. That means things which help the person to vomit. And in that, the most important one is Madhuyashti. I think you call that Mulethi in Hindi, okay. Glycerisa glabra. So that is the one which is being used. Or Vacha also can be used, Corus calamus. That can also be used. You boil that in water, and if you drink that water, the person, the urge to vomit comes up. So you can handle it in two different ways. You make the person vomit by giving Madanaphala, and if there is a delay, or you feel that probably the way in which he vomits can be better, you can't again give him Madanaphala. So you give him Madhuyashti, boiled water, or you can also give him Vacha, boiled water. I can type that also, Madhuyashti or Vacha. Madhu, okay. Yashti or Vacha. Okay, that also can be given. Done. Okay. Next, what is the difference between having a herb with ghee as Anupana versus having medicated Ghruta prepared with that herb? When you process a ghee with a certain herb, the whole essence of the herb actually gets into the ghee. And medicated ghee, suppose you are making say for example, what example, say you're taking bala ghee. Bala ghee is not heating ghee and putting bala powder into it. When you heat ghee, it starts boiling, right? And when you put bala into it, what happens? Anything you put into boiling fat, it just fries, right? So you'll have fried bala. That is not the way you make ghee. Okay, many people do that. They say infusing. They just put the powder into the ghee and say that this is a medicated. That's not the way you make it. You have to, if you're making bala ghritam, I'm just giving you an example. If you're making bala ghritam, you have to first make bala kashayam. Okay, and once that kashayam is made, that kashayam is what you add into the ghee, and then what you do is there are proportions to that, and then after that you add the bala powder into the ghee, which is also mixed with kashaya. So when there is water in it, in the presence of water, the powder will not get fried. You understand that, right? Then it keeps on cooking. As it keeps on cooking, the essence of this bala powder, which was added later, will slowly get into the water first. Okay, and from the water, as the water evaporates, it will get into the ghee. That is the way bala ghee is made. Okay, it is potencified. But if you just take bala powder and mix it with ghee is just the anupana. Okay, it just helps the bala powder reach to a certain place. It doesn't get too much of the effect. The effect of bala does not enter too much into the ghruta. I think I've put it in words in which you can understand, right, Kamalnath? Does consuming banana lead to cough and phlegm formation? Kadali is Madhura, Guru, okay, and Snigdha. It will not lead to cough or phlegm. Okay. Yeah, but it increases, it is Madhurasa, so it can increase Kapha a little bit. I would say the reason for you to catch a cough might be something else. But if you have got cough and you have got phlegm, then I would say you should avoid bananas. Okay, especially the Robusta or what you get in the market, the plantains, normal plantains which you get in the market. Those things have to be avoided if you have got a cough with phlegm. But just by eating a banana, you might not catch it. But if you've got a tendency, then avoid it. Okay. So there are very few questions today. Okay, so If you don't have questions, then probably we can wind up the session, or next question comes. Nowadays, doctors simply give Panchakarma treatment. How will you know if a condition requires Panchakarma treatment or just medicine is enough? Okay, Lenjit, that's what I think, or Lenjita. I don't know what to name this. Okay, so let me put it this way. I don't want to get too much into the theoretical part of it. I'll try to explain this in a way you understand. If you have, there are majorly two conditions. If you have got too much of doshas involved, okay, that means the disease might be slightly chronic and you have got too much of doshas involved, then that person is a good candidate for Panchakarma. Half. Okay. The second half is that if the person has got the physical and mental strength to undergo Panchakarma. So it's always a combination. The disease should be strong and the person also should be strong. If these two conditions are there, then the person is eligible for Panchakarma. If one of this is missing, then I would not recommend the person to undergo proper Panchakarma. In the sense, if the disease is, it's just a recent thing and you don't have too much of doshas, then you can pacify it. Okay. Or you know what? If the disease is recent and the person doesn't have strength, definitely you have to do pacification. If the disease is strong, but the person doesn't have strength, again you should go for Shamana. You cannot make the person, I'll remove all the doshas. You'll remove all the doshas, but the person also will go dead. Okay. So you have to strike the right balance. It's like, so strength of the person and strength of the disease. If the person and the disease has got strength, do Panchakarma. If either the person or the disease doesn't have strength, better avoid. Okay, wait for some time. Could you please talk a little about normal white versus Himalayan pink salt from Ayurveda perspective? A white salt is called, normal white salt is called Samudra Lavana. And Himalayan pink salt is called Saindhava Lavana. All lavanas are basic. If you look at the Panchamahabhuta combination of lavana rasa, it is Agni plus Jala. Okay, you notice that salt is got from water only. What most of the salt, which it is some way or the other, some form of water got trapped over there, from some part of the sea. So it is basic. And you would have noted, I don't know whether you have seen that during our childhood, salt used to be kept in the we call that, what do you call that, the porcelain jars, and it used to be covered only with a wooden lid, no metal, because if you put a metal it will start rusting. Okay. And after some, you'll notice if you touch the outside of the jar, you'll see that it's wet, it sweats. The salt is water. Salt contains a lot of water, plus it contains Agni. So salt has got a very, very weird combination of Agni and water. Okay, things which are opposite in the same one. Okay, that's the reason why too much of salt is not considered to be good for health. So Samudra Lavana, so all salts which are available are all Pitta Vardhaka. It increase the Pitta because of the presence of Agni. And in summer season, salt has to be avoided. But and all the salts, because it can increase the Agni so much, are not very good for your hair or good for your eyes. But Saindhava Lavana is something which is not Atyushna, which is not too much of Ushna, and which is Pathyam, or good for your eyes or for your hair. Okay. Apart from that, so many great things have not been written about Saindhava Lavana. But wherever in the text, when you see Lavana, it refers only to Saindhava Lavana, Himalayan pink salt, and not Samudra Lavana. They have to specifically mention Samudra Lavana. Just like when they say milk, it's always cow's milk. Okay, don't ask whether it is buffalo milk or elephant milk. No, when you see milk, it is cow's milk. When you see ghee, it is always cow's ghee. When you see oil, it is always sesame oil, tilka tel. Likewise, when you see salt, it is always Saindhava Lavana. So Saindhava Lavana has been considered to be a superior salt according to Ayurveda. Okay. So I think we can come to an end for today's session. It was short and sweet, right, this time. Great. So next week, we have got two more to go. One is Vasti and one is Rakta Moksha. So next week, we'll handle one of these. Might be Vasti, and the week after that, we'll do Rakta Moksha. Rakta Moksha. Stay tuned. Okay. So till next week, see you. Okay. Good night.